Hey guys, welcome to the Mythic Booster channel and welcome to a bit of a, it's not a new thing, it's more of just an extended thing to what I've always done on this channel, which is geekiness, techiness and all that sort of stuff. So obviously I started a YouTube channel from scratch and I want to share with you guys how I did that through the non-geniusness that everyone shouts about. I'm going to tell you what I've learned through creating my channel. Keep watching, remember to like if you like it, don't forget to subscribe and stick around to see what we're going to do. Cheers guys. Okay guys, so as I said, today we're literally going to start talking about my YouTube setup, how I've added to it and what I've learned and what's let me get set up for what you basically see now. I watch a number of sort of YouTube creator specialists. One is, I've got them up here because I can never remember all these people's names. One is Daryl Eves, but my personal favourite is a guy called Roberto Blake. He is brilliant. He goes into all the sort of the fundamentals of YouTube, how to write a great description, how to let your tags work with descriptions, and I've learnt so much from that. But a lot of my sort of inspiration I get from just watching other YouTube creators I love. They see something, they see someone else doing it and they think, do you know what, I want to try that, that looks like fun. And that's exactly what I did for ages. I went, you know what, this looks like loads of fun, I want to give it a try. And that's why I'm doing it now. So my home setup for creating videos is pretty straightforward. If I take you on the whirlwind tour of the studio, it's tiny. It's basically just a space in my front room. And I've gone on and I've added stuff to it. So I've got 2 monitors. And main reason I find with that, I've done sort of a lot of sort of techie and sort of computery bits before. So I understand how to use Photoshop relatively well, which I think is not necessarily using Photoshop. Don't get me wrong, there are tons of bits of photographically editing softwareness out there. That's the one I understand. It seems to be a bit of an industry standard. But one thing I have learned, if you can't create compelling thumbnails for your videos, it doesn't really matter how great your video is, to be honest, at the end of the day. If you've got a boring thumbnail, people aren't going to click on it. It's sort of like you could have the most amazing fast car in the whole entire world, but if it looks like a blooming pushcart, you're not going to buy it, and that's what a thumbnail is all about. So you've got to be able to create that, you've got to be able to have the ideas, and you've got to have that creative spark in you, and that's really, really important. So you need some computerage and a little bit of knowledge to back that up, especially when it comes to video editing. So one thing I've found is I've not got like the best computer in the world. It looks very flash with 2 monitors, and everyone gets caught up on like cable management and what things look like. And you see these channels that's like amazing computers. I've got 16 gig of RAM. I've got a 3.2 gigahertz processor. I've got a couple of solid state drives. Big tip that I've learned: if you put your really important programs that you want to run fast, like Premiere Pro, Photoshop, your video editing and your editing graphical sort of bits and bobs on one hard drive and just run that, that will get you so much better performance. So that's definitely a must. You know, have a separate SSD for the stuff you want to run effectively. That's really cool. And then after that, video editing really relies on your CPU. So one thing I've learned, I've got myself in a position where I can edit better. Before I was on an old laptop and I really couldn't edit at all. It was so frustrating. So the next thing I'm going to upgrade is my CPU. I would say, from looking what I've got, I would say the bare minimum, well not the minimum, but I would say what I would recommend is like a 4.2 gigahertz processor, something with quad core. And that would sort of tick all the boxes from what I could see. I'm going to go for a 4.2 gigahertz K processor. If you look at, I've got another video on how to overclock non-K based processors. But what you can do with the K processor is you can overclock them. You can make them run faster. And I think I can probably run at about 5 gigahertz. And that will let me edit 4K video, I think, quite happily. I'm going to step up my RAM a little bit to 32 gig of RAM. And frankly, if you're into gaming, this is like above and beyond. You know, everyone thinks, oh, to edit video, you need an amazing graphics card. You don't. You really don't. I'm running 1 gig of onboard, onboard video, graphics, and you don't need it. It's CPU definitely. Yes, you do need some RAM. 8 gig will be fine, but yeah, get a decent CPU. So as regards to your PC setup, just to recap, SSD for your Photoshop, your Premiere Pro, all that sort of stuff that you're going to run. Yes, brilliant. Have another hard drive for sort of your day-to-day sort of saved work and stuff like that. And you know what? If you've got another SSD that you can put your copy of Windows on, brilliant. That's your great setup. Normal hard drive, 2 SSDs, you're laughing. 8 gig of RAM, I would say 16 would be better, and a 4.2 quad-core processor. My PC, as it stands now, I bought for 350 quid. That's it. It's not thousands of pounds worth of gaming PC. And I realised that if I did that, I could upgrade bit by bit. So next thing I went, wow, brilliant. I now need to know how to do my CPU. Then I'll do a graphics card. Then I'll put some more RAM in it, and slowly but surely you'll get there. So as regards to PC, what's in the box, that's what I recommend. Okay, so when it comes to outside the box, how have I got my desk set up? Why have I got it set up in that way? Well, I've got a number of things. I've got a graphics tablet over here. I find when I'm sort of trying to edit, sort of, when you see thumbnails in myself and I've got different sort of backgrounds behind it, if you're trying to cut out things, you're trying to do fine erasing around sort of extra bits of artwork, I find a graphics tablet is just next, it's something that's made editing a total joy for me. It's absolutely brilliant. This one is a Wacom. It's the same guys that make the bamboo. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, maybe the bamboo tablet. But this was like 20 quid. It's not dear, and it does the job. Wireless keyboard, wireless mouse. Gamers would argue against that. Simply due to the fact if you're gaming and your wireless keyboard and mouse goes down, you're stuffed mid-game. But obviously me, I could just change batteries. It means I haven't got cables going everywhere for when I'm working. Nice big desk space. I use my extra Magic the Gathering playmat, so I've got a nice big surface to work on. Got things like, as you can see over here, I've actually got my iPad mini mounted up, and I use that as my external camera. My external screen for when I'm filming on my GoPro now, so I can frame you up in shot. If you haven't seen the other video to do with how to make your GoPro into a vlogging camera, you'll understand why that works. It's nice and light. It means I can do shots like I have now, holding you, and I haven't, my arm's not going to fall off because I've got a massive SLR on the end. Got twin monitors. Again, we've explained why, so I'm going to see what's going on. After that, we're looking at things like lighting. So the one thing I have learned that lots of YouTube creators talk about, especially the specialist, is getting your lighting right. Make sure you can see it. I mean, I'm filming the wrong way now, so you guys are very dark. But if I put you behind the monitors over here, now you've sort of seen everything that's going on. Let me just adjust you there. We might have to tweak this. There we go. Oh. Can you see me? See, we can frame you up over here. Excellent. So as you can see me now, I'm not in shadow anymore. I've got some great light. It makes everything look fundamentally better. If you can light yourself really well, especially if you're sort of a sat at the desk sort of gamer or a vlogger, if you're sat on your sofa and you're vlogging away, you want that lighting in there. And these two lights here are just from IKEA. They're £6 with just strong bulbs in them. So my whole lighting rig is £12. That's it. You can go and spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds on soft boxes and all this stuff. This is just a giant cylindrical softbox. Easy. And I just sort of learnt this and kind of went, seeing people hung these orb lights from the thing, this is a great way forward, and it's really, really affordable. They just sat behind my PC, and they're great. So, that's lighting taken care of. What else do we think about? Well, there is this thing here. It's a condenser mic. I'm predominantly using this for my Let's Play footage. I've got a really good Rode mic on the top of my camera, and that is what you're actually being recorded on now. So when you're listening to this video, I'm not using my condenser mic. For me, if I was sat here, okay, yeah, I could sort of record live sound with this and video you, so I could open up a Premiere Pro file, record this, and I would get better quality for sure. But sometimes video editing for me is about time. It's how quick I can get something done. the mic that's on here is great. This is a bit better. I think if you're doing Let's Play gaming, which is what I use this for, I think this is a must. Again, you can spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on these. When you start, don't. The stand is £5. The pop filter is £2. So buy a pop filter. It's like when you're if you blow, you know, when you blow into a mic, or if you're out filming, you get that horrible wind noise. That's what this is trying to stop. It's trying to stop that harshness. So, you know, a nice way to get better sound quality. The microphone itself is £25, I think, and it came with a cable. Doing what more could you want? So by putting a little thing like this in front of it, some of the harshness this may pick up because it's not the best quality microphone in the world, this is helping. All the things you're doing are supporting this. So yeah, great little setup, works really well, and it's something I'd recommend. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is my little external sound card, graphics card, Ujima Flip. That is this down here. This is an M-Audio M-Track. What this essentially lets me do is it lets me record through my condenser mic. So it gives me what's known as phantom power. That's a voltage that essentially lets me give power to my microphone so I can record good volume on it. It shows up as part of a graphics card, part of a sound input. I've got multiple lines. I can adjust them individually here. As you can see, I've got the mic running at the moment. The closer I get to it, and I get readouts on there. Great bit of kit, not dear. I picked this up from Maplins. Again, not sponsored by Maplins, and it was 60 quid. Great bit of kit, not dear, and works fantastically well. You could just go for a normal microphone that was totally plugged into your microphone slot on the back, but from what I can understand, a condenser mic is the way forward. You're just picking up great quality, and they work really, really well, and this is a good way to achieve that. Okay, so as regards to technical setup, what lives on my desk and how it lets me sort of create my YouTube videos, that's about as complicated as it gets. So to recap, some great lighting. As long as it's not like a directional light, so it's like a soft light, so the great big tubes that you saw in the previous video is great. So you want good lighting. You want a good computer setup that's easy to work with. I find 2 monitors easier because you can spread what you're doing around. That works great. We've talked about the internals, using a bit of sound, so using sort of condenser mics and things like that. And just be in a position that you're comfortable in. So my setup is in my front room, mainly being is so I can still interact with the rest of my family whilst I'm here. I don't sort of take myself up. Some people like to sort of take themselves off to their little den, sort of video that way, and I'm, you know, okay, maybe that's the right way for someone, but it's about finding a position that's right for you. You know, I've got my iPad over here, that lets me look and see what I'm doing. I've sort of put a plug socket in down here that's got USB ports in it, so I can charge my phone. You know, I do a lot of Pokemon Go on the channel. I want to make sure my phone's charged up and ready to go. I've got a second one in there so I can charge my power pack up. It's little things like that that are accessible. You know, I do silly things like I've got sort of bottles of water up here that I can have, you know, and it's like if I get bored, I like doing Rubik's Cubes, so they generally tend to sit around on my desk, so when I'm trying to think, I can, you know, almost use them as a fidget aid just to sort of, you know, just de-stress my brain for 2 seconds. But yeah, so I hope you found this really, really helpful. I hope this has given an insight into my sort of cheap budget YouTuber setup and how that can help you. As I said, any comments, any questions, bang down below and I'll try and answer them as quick as I can. Hope you liked it. If you did, put a like down below. It really, really helps. And don't forget to subscribe. Use the little bell so you never miss an episode of the Mythic Booster channel. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.